Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our continued playthrough of Solomon Kane, where we are going through the Rattle of Bones scenario. I apologize for the delay in releasing these. I had a bit of a camera filming snafu that impacted our gameplay. And I had to reset some things because I was filming and some things didn't get filmed or captured. So I did my best to reset us back to where we were at the end of the second episode. Some of the cards that we have in play will not be the right ones, unfortunately. We're going to have to get back to those as quickly as possible, which may impact how we end up with this scenario. Hopefully it doesn't impact us too much, that we can get some good light out on the board. Anyway, we ended with both Justice and Prudence having gone, from the best of my knowledge. Again, there may be some gaps. I had to solve some things from the last scenario. So please bear with me and just pretend like this is we're walking into the new chapter anyway, so that's all good. Anyway, let's get going, and we're going to get started right now with our next turn. I'll read the story again just to refresh everybody. We also have to draw. I have the two cards up that we need, but we have to draw the two darkness cards because I did have to reset things in the game, and it was not the game's fault. It was a technical problem. So here are our two darkness cards for this turn, and we only get two, so that's a bad thing. We're going to have to add some darkness cards, I think, to the deck. So we'll see how that goes, but let's get started. Insecure quarters. Kane and El Armand follow their silent host down a long, dark hall. The stocky, broad body of their guide seems to grow and expand in the light of the small candle he carries, flickering as it casts a shadow behind him. At a certain door he halts, indicating that this is the men's sleeping quarters. Kane and El Armand enter, and the host follows to light a candle for them from the one he carries. He then lurches back the way he came. In the chamber, the two men glance at one another. The only furnishings are a couple of bunks, a chair or two, and a heavy table. "Let us see if there's a way to make fast the door," says Kane. "I like not the look of mine host." There are racks on the door and jam for a bar," says Gaston, "but no bar." "We might break up the table and use the pieces as a jam," muses Kane. And that's the story. So we need to find a way to block the door. Now, there's some special rules. Our danger is going up. Right now it is at a 3, so it will be back to a 4. And then, of course, we have to illuminate Solomon Kane's path. So we are going to attempt to do that. Hopefully we can. A little concerned about that capability right now, but we'll see if we can get there. Hopefully we don't end up with the dark outcome, because I haven't seen one of those yet, and I'm sure they're not great, but let's see what we can do. All right, so next up, now remember, when you continue the game, you go and you continue the order until you complete everybody's rounds. And this is where we left off. So next up we have Temperance. Now, we do have some dice slotted for Temperance that came in the reserve from the first couple of characters. Again, this may not be 100%. I tried to get it right, but I think it's not going to impact the gameplay, really. Just know that happened, and we'll continue on. So the challenge is that our cards that we have in place, I got one that can get light, one that can get a blessing, which could be really powerful for us. hopefully we can get that. But of course you can see I need 2 faith to be able to do that. So we're going to first roll Temperance's dice and see what happens. Hopefully we get a good roll and we can make some things work from that. That is not what I needed. Well, actually it is for this. Look at that. We got that right there. I can flip a die, and this isn't helping us at all, so that doesn't do any good. There's nothing to put on the board, so I can't get this blessing this turn. But I can do this and then give away some dice. So let's say we're pausing there. We don't need to do anything other than take this. So I have these 2 away here. Oh, I could donate. Wait, actually, these were in reserve, not in, donated, not in reserve. I had them in the wrong slot there. It's okay. They were donated. But anyway, what we can do is go here, 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 and then maybe I can, no, we already donated dice over to courage. So we're not going to, these are going to be wasted. That's okay. I'm okay with that because this is going to allow us to place 1 light. So place 1 light or 2 if Solomon Kane is near an objective. But we're not on the board, so it's just going to be 1 light. So that's going to be that. Let's go put that light on the board. Here's the token. By the way, that is not enough. So we got to get 2 more, and we're going to have 2 turns to do it. And I'm not sure how we're going to do this. This is really, really rough. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have any real good options to make sure that we can get this done. We do have luck cubes and faith cubes. I can replace some dice with those. We actually ended the last round with 1 of each, so maybe we can do that. I'm not sure. Maybe that'll get us something. I don't think it will, but let's check it out. That's going to mark the end of Temperance's turn. This card will get discarded. Put that on the bottom right here. And then we get to choose one of these 2. I think I'll keep that one just in case we get back around, but I don't think so. I'll put this add 1 darkness card in there, then we'll draw another one. Ooh, that's a big one, but that's pretty good. Okay, well, it's good if in a different setting. I don't think in these story quests that's going to be very good, but this one is. If we can get back around, I don't know that we will. Okay, that again, the last thing you do is you flip over the tokens so we know that Temperance is gone, and then we draw our darkness card before we take Courage's turn. -1 strength. So that's going to put. That's not the worst thing that could have happened this round to us. So I'll take it. That puts us down to from a 7 to a 6 strength. I'll show you the board before we move on to a new scenario. And here we are with Courage. Now Courage has these 2 cards in hand. It's not going to help us very much, but we do have that one and this one. This one can get us, but we're going to lose another strength if we get it. You see that we had donated 1 card to her, or 1 die to her to Courage. So there's our 3 dice. Let's see what we get there. Actually, that will do this one. That's good. That means we're going to have 2 light, but I think that's it. I don't know how we're going to extend that out. I think we're going to be in darkness because it says that it's place 1 light or 2 light if Solomon Kane's threatened, but we're not on the board. Can I also get this one? We have this. No, there's no way. I don't know what we can do here. But before I take that out, I need these, so I could donate this to maybe Prudence or somebody. Let me look at their cards. I don't think so, and I don't think we're going to get to take their turns. I think we're going to go into the bad scenario here. I think I'm going to be able to only get 2 light on the board. I don't see any other way to do that because I don't have any other way to get light on the board right now. So I think we're going to end up taking the dark path. That kind of bites. Wait. Nope, I take it back. I can do it. Okay, forget about this card. We're going to do this one as well. So this is our discovery card for the storyline, Ominous Feelings. It says something is very wrong in this place. The atmosphere. Solomon Kane must inquire further into the mystery. We can do this, but it's going to increase our danger. But I think we have to. I don't think we're going to have an option there. So that requires the other one of these. So we got that, and then we got this here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do that, except I'm going to flip this one. This donated one, unfortunately, is just going to go away. So I don't think that's going to help us in any way, shape, or form. We did have this card, which is why I think I gave Courage that faith symbol to try and get this, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do this. So we are going to get another light on the board. Scoosh. There we go. That's going to be 2. We'll put that on there in just a second. And we're going to get another darkness card. So when I resolve these, this one's going to go away. I can't donate it because it was donated. I can't redonate it. And that one there takes care of that. So we're going to add a darkness card. I'm going to crank up the danger one more and see what we get. Let's look at the board because we're going to have a couple changes to the board right now. We're going to lose a strength another strength point as well. Okay, so here's our board. So we're going to lose one strength to the vigilance card, which we're being vigilant, watching our surroundings, but it cost us. That's what is going to allow us to get this light token on the board. And then our danger level is going to go up from the ominous feeling that we have. So we're at a 5 now going to the next one, which means that we can have 3 shadows. Hopefully we can reduce that as we go. We'll see. But we do get to place another token right there on the light. So we have 2, and now we're not going to run out of darkness cards this turn. So we got lucky enough there. Let's finish up Courage's turn. So we will do these in right here. All the dice go away. This will go back to our main board. We already did this. That's why I'm not looking at this card. This is already done. There's nothing to do. There was nothing to do with that. So this card is going to get discarded. Let's put that on the bottom of our hand and see which one we're going to place out. I think I might, if I have a good enough card, I might get rid of this one. This one's kind of hard to get to, even though that's pretty cool. I don't think we're going to get back to Courage right now. But see, I like that. That's pretty good. Take 2 tokens from the supply and place them in the reserve. No, 2 dice rather from the supply and replace them with that symbol on it from the reserve. And then we can also get 2 more luck cubes, which allow us. I gotta remember what we do with those. The blessings allow us to replace a die. The luck ones allow us to do something else. I just gotta go look at the rules. I can't remember. It's been a week or 2. All right. So I think that we will replace. We're gonna put this one down for sure. Do I replace the plus? No, we need the strength actually. So I'm gonna leave this in our hand. We're gonna draw another card. It's gonna be this one, Intervention. It's a move card, but it gives us +1 danger, so that's not great. And that is going to mark the end of Courage's turn. So we're going to draw that new darkness card. Ouch on the strength. -1 strength again on the new darkness card. We're down to a 4. One more, we start taking hits for strength. That's not good. But the good news is we still have a darkness card left in our pile. So now we have to decide in what order we're going to go in. Let me think about that for a moment. I'm pretty sure Justice is going first because Justice has the ability on her own board. So does Prudence to place light. But let me look at their other cards too. And I'm just going to tell you the order. We'll play it out in that way. Interestingly enough, we're going in the exact same order we did last time. So Justice is, actually I think maybe Prudence went first, but Justice or Prudence. Justice is going first because we have two things we could do that are pretty good. Actually, these were reserved. Yeah, they were. Okay. I think I got to go back and look. I'm going to double check that. That may not be accurate. I don't think it is. I'm going to go back and look because again, I had to redo some things, so it didn't. It's a little wonky, and I apologize. So, but what we have here is the ability to place light right away. That could get us to 3, and as long as we don't lose a light with a darkness card, we're okay. I think I did have these here because I was trying to accomplish this. And also, if we get to place another card, this one does us no good, but in her hand, we also have Brilliance. So, you know, Solomon Kane gets a flash of Brilliance. We can place 2 light. And we also have this Empathy, which means we can gain Compassion. But only 1 because Justice is not on the board because we don't have a board yet to play on. So I think that's going to be our answer. I'm going to double check on this. I do believe that's the way that went down. I had 2 people. No, that can't be right because I had. Well, yeah, I don't think this is right. I'm going to take this off just to be sure. But I'm going to go back and check. If I did get those in there, then we're good. If not, then we're not. And they should have been donated. But anyway, let's continue on. So we're going to have to get a very particular set of dice rolls to get this set up. So let's see if we, oh my gosh, I think we did it. I actually rolled that. Wow. Crazy luck right there. So, okay, sometimes the dice favor me. They're fickle. Anyway, we're doing this, right? And we don't even have to flip a die. We do have to flip this die. We have to flip a die, do that. We got our 3rd light on the board with no penalties or anything. And I'd held on to our 1 mercy cube just in case I needed it, but we now have 3 light on the board there. We're at least illuminated. We're only going to get one shift to our track, which would be danger, but we're illuminated at this point. I can't do anything else. That's going to be it. I didn't use either of these, but I'm going to discard this one to place this one here, and we're going to leave that one where it is because I like that. And then we're going to draw our last card in our hand. We're going to shuffle up. It's going to be place a Mercy Cube. I like that one. And then we'll shuffle his deck because Justice is good to go. Okay. Actually, yeah, that's right. Okay, we're good. I got to look at everybody's deck, make sure we shuffle them up, and they're all set to go. That's where we're going to end up, and that is going to be her turn, and then we're going to get the last of the darkness cards. This is going to be it, but we do have 3 light. Now, the good news is, if it does take a light, we can solve that, but it's not. It's going to take a clarity, so that's going to be the last of the turn. We did brighten Solomon Kane's path, thankfully. However, it's costing us a clarity, so we're down to 4 there. We lost a lot of stats this round. And that's going to be the end of that. We are going to reshuffle. Every time you do that, you reset the darkness deck, so we could see those same cards again. However, we completed our scenario with an illuminated path. So on the outcomes, it says bright, go to 3A, dark, go to 3B. I was concerned we were going to 3B, but we're not. We also get to reduce change one of the stats on our board. We're going to bring danger back down to 4 so that only 2 shadows can spawn. That doesn't mean there won't be more showing up on the board immediately, but only 2 can spawn. And then we're going to go to 3A, so let's take a look at that. 3A, I'm going to put these cards aside for the moment, though they are continued in play ones, so let's see how that goes. 3A is going to be a board that we have to set up. Let's read the storyline, and we'll continue on with our playthrough. Okay. Taking the candle with them, they go into the corridor, sensing something more ominous at play. Utter silence reigns, and the small candle twinkles and glimmers, pushing back the dark. Mine host has neither guests nor servants, mutters Solomon Kane, a strange tavern. What is the name now? The German words come not too easily to me. The cleft skull, a bloody name, I faith. They try the rooms next to theirs, but no bar rewards their search. At last they come to the room at the end of the corridor and enter. It is furnished like the rest, save the door is provided with a small barred opening and fastened from the outside with a heavy bolt, secured at one end to the door jamb. There should be an outer window, but there's not, Kane mutters. Look, the floor is stained darkly and one bunk hacked to pieces, great splinters torn away. Men have died in here, says Kane somberly. That's not good. So, as a special event, we're going to gain 1 clarity. That's good because we lost 1, so we're back to 5. We have keywords there. Now, this is a new thing that you're going to see in the keyword section. You see that Gaston is a seeker and a vandal. What does that mean? So, these keywords are relatively important. So, it says seeker X. Now, it just says seeker, and he's seeking the tokens we're going to be putting out on the board. So, that's what the X is. At the end of each virtue turn, a seeker will move 1 area towards the nearest X. X can be either a specific miniature or token. In this case, it's a token. It is one of these discover. Like I can't remember what these are called. Like I don't know. They're tokens. Tokens for objectives. Objective tokens. Right. So we're going to. He will move towards those, and you can see them on the board there, to the right. When we set up the board, there will be a bunch. But there's also Vandal. Let's take a look at Vandal because I think that means he's going to destroy those tokens when he gets to them, if I'm not mistaken. But let's look at that. Vandal, yeah, here it is, Vandal NX. Okay, Vandals are destructive individuals who want to destroy something, defined as N. N, in this case, is the objective tokens. At the end of each turn, virtue turn, each Vandal that has not moved this turn will remove 1 token, in this case, the objective token, from the area they are in. As soon as the last token is removed from an area, they take the action or reveal the card X, right? A Vandal may not have an X action. In this case, they just remove tokens following the rules described above. So we do have, he just removes tokens. He gets rid of them. But we want to have a really healthy exploration, because if we explore one of those tokens ourselves, we're going to have up to 5. If our score, our roll, basically, which is a pull of the card, is up to 5, we're going to read that. 6 to 8, we're going to read that. 9 plus, we're going to read that. So obviously a 9 plus has value. All right, and then what our objective is find a door bar. So that's what we're searching for those tokens with, and we need to get +2 stars, which you'll see how that plays out as we go. Proceed to 4A, 1 star, 4B, others 4C. So we could end up sucking. That would be bad. And we're going to have 2 new cards come out, 206 and 202. Let me get those out. I keep knocking the miniatures off. Let me get those 2 cards out. Okay, here is 202 of Rattle of Bones. Ramshackled room. The floor is stained darkly. The walls and one bunk are hacked to pieces. Great splinters having been torn away. Men have died here, says Kane somberly. This is a mechanic item that means when something it's going to trigger something. So when the last exploration token is removed from the board, reveal the 209 and discard this card. It remains in play until that happens. Then this one is Gaston Elarmont. Gaston was a different type of entirely. Is that the right card? 206, yeah. Okay. Bedecked with lace and plumes, although his finery was somewhat stained from travel, he was handsome in a bold way, and his restless eyes shifted from side to side, never still for an instant. Again, this is going to have a mechanical effect on the game. When Gaston removes the last token, he places it, or removes a token, he places it on this card instead. So we'll see. That card is probably going to tell us what happens there. And then, of course, the other 2 cards are still in play, so we have those. But we're going to set up the board right now and also get our Darkness deck, which has 8 cards in it. Let me get everything set up. Let me talk about that setup real quick since we haven't done one of these before. Okay, here is the board token. You see that it says this is north, so we know that this is going to be facing this way. We have these 3 tiles, which we've already gotten out because it told us to in the setup. We're going to have a shadow here and a shadow here, so 2 shadows on the board. They're going to be here and here. There's 2 spawn tokens. Solomon Kane will start right there. Courage is going to start right here, so we want to get Courage to help us block any shadows that come in. Good job, Courage. Courage is actually going to be on the board with us. That's helpful. Now remember, Courage has a fight bonus, not a search or explore bonus, which is what we really need here. So we need to get, I think it's, who's the explorer? Is it, I think it's, nope, it's going to be Temperance. Temperance is the one that helps us explore. So we got to get Temperance out on the board as well. Courage can be there to block some shadows because we don't want them engaging with us. When they engage with us, bad things happen. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these tokens. Of course, Gaston is basically sabotaging them for us, I think. And then we're trying to find a bar for the door. And that's what our explorer is going to look like. Hopefully, we get a good score on this. We'll see. I'm going to set up the tiles and get everything ready right now, and then we'll come back. Okay, well, as you can see, the game is a bit of a space hog, but it's the space hog in the coolest of ways, right? So let's flip that back over. Now we're just going to keep that for our reference as to what we need to do. You know, we got to remember that the Seeker and Vandal portion of Gaston's piece. Now, I haven't started priming or anything Gaston's, but this is him here. Miniatures are beautiful in this game. They really are. Like, he's really cool looking, and he's got his gun and his candle, just like the story's telling us, a sword at his side. And he looks like a dapper gentleman. So that is cool. Now I did start, as I said, I started painting Solomon Kane. It's just rough. Like I just got his face color in and his boots and sword and gun started. Because I was painting some Marvel United figures and I wanted to get him started for this. I haven't gotten any farther. So work, life, stuff keeping me in the way. We got our 3 card. There was a 4th one, but I do believe that it is mistakenly in the game and not supposed to. It's the Distrust one after that first round. I don't know that it's supposed to remain in play. It's a confusing one because it looks like it has a one-time effect and that's it. So, Anyway, we're going to continue on. So, I mean, I guess we could do this with the new scenario where we're going to take -1 compassion, but it's just when. When do you do that? It's just when you draw it, right? When you draw it. Well, we already drew it, so I don't think that's supposed to happen twice. And it only shows the addition of these 2 new cards, and this one is always it says remains in play, so I'm going to leave it in play. This one remains in play till the end of the chapter, right? It's very specific. And this one says when to discard the card, so the other one's a little confusing to me. Tell me if I'm wrong about that. Anyway, we have our Darkness deck also right here, so we're good to go. And we're going to start our round with Prudence, who we're going to get her dice rolls going and see what she can do. Hopefully, Prudence can help Solomon Kane on his path and maybe at least get him to move or get some light on one of the boards of one of the other virtues. We have 1 light on Courage that we don't need to spend, so that's good. And we're going to move on. So let's get on with Prudence's turn. Okay, so here's Prudence. You see she was second up. As remember, we finished our 2 turns with Temperance and Courage, and then went to Justice as a new round. We completed that last scenario with Justice, who's the first virtue to go. Now we're going on to Prudence. Okay, so Prudence has some things that are good. This one allows us to move, so maybe that's the best thing we can do. The cards that she has in play, adding a Darkness card, I don't think that's going to help us. Choose a virtue and resolve any one ability action for free is really good. I think that if we did that, I would simply get Temperance on the board near where Solomon Kane is going to go. We got all our tokens set up, ready to go. Let's roll our dice there. That is a weird roll. Let's see if that's going to help us. Not going to help us with altruism. That's fine. Can we do anything else here? Man, I don't think we could get Prudence on the board. That's about all we can do, because we can use any dice for that, or I can loan some dice to one of the other 2 characters or virtues that haven't gone yet. Would that help us? It would help a little if I loaned one of these to, or donated one of those to Courage. Temperance, I'm looking at Temperance's board. Also, ability to move 1 or 2 towards a token. That could be extremely helpful, but what token do I have that would work? The pain token. So I can, but if I do that, then all of these dice are useless. I might as well pass them out to the other characters, because I don't have the ability to change anything else here. Or I can get Prudence on the board and we can block some shadows. That's not a bad idea. There's one right behind Solomon Kane, and it might move. And if I can get... there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either have the virtue push back the shadow, which increases our danger level. And I don't want to do that. Or you can have like this weird meeting of the spiritual powers where they explode, and the virtue would come off the board, but so would the shadow. And that means that shadow would be gone. And that right now we can spawn up to a maximum of 2 on the board. There's 2 on the board right now, so we would spawn them, but once it goes over 2, we wouldn't spawn anymore. Actually, well, that's not true. We have 2 on the board right now. We can't spawn anymore, but if I knock one out, another one could spawn in one of those locations. Oh, that's a tough call. I think, though, that it's the right call, because then I can also swap out these cards and get some stuff. I think that we're going to do that. We're going to use all of these dice right here to get Prudence. And Prudence has an aura that allows for an extra reroll or flip of the dice. +1 reroll or flip. That's pretty good. So this is her beautiful miniature. So she is going out on the board. And for placement, I think we are going to go... I think we're going to go right here with her. I'm going to double check the placement rules on that, just because I don't remember them off the top of my head, but I think if we can do that, that's where she's going to go. So we've sandwiched in Solomon Kane to help him. Yeah, we are good there, but that is unfortunately it for our Prudence. So let's take a look at her cards in her hand. We're probably going to replace the 2 cards she's got. We have 8 turns to do this. I think we want to get him moving, but I think this was a good start. We also have to remember that Gaston is going to do some badness. So I don't... Choose a virtue to resolve ability. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. I do like this one. And I do like the ability to move. So I think we're actually going to discard both of these. These are going to go into our discards. And yeah, and we're going to do, so make sure I got the right cards there. For Prudence, I do. We're going to put this one here. This one tends to get knocked out a lot. So I think we have other ways to move. So I'll place this one here and that one there. And that'll be it for Prudence. We're going to then draw her Darkness card, or draw the Darkness cards. We're going to flip this over. This is done. Let's draw the... Wait, before we draw the Darkness card, we have to take care of the Vandal. It is equidistance, 1, 2, 1, 2 to either of these tokens, so we're just going to move him here. He's going to head that way. We're going to hopefully have Solomon go the other direction and try and grab one of those tokens. Hopefully we can get Temperance out the board, who will go next, near a token where we can maybe block the event from happening and have a bonus on our check for this. But let's draw a Darkness card. So right now, Gaston, just for the rules' sake, Gaston used this Seeker feature and this objective. That Gaston is a Seeker seeking out one of these tokens, and it means he moves 1 toward the token. Okay, Darkness card time. Remove 1 light. Well, that's going to be the one that's on Courage. Okay, it's gone. That sucks, but it's okay. Not the end of the world. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Wrong thing. God, we're in a whole different place, aren't we? Almost botched that. Well, we're here now. We're doing this part of the scenario. So, a scout searches. One scout moves west. There aren't any scouts. There aren't any hunters. So this near section, meaning adjacent, near doesn't do anything. All sentries move. We don't have any sentries. Farthest scout, farthest shadow moves 2 to threaten. Okay, we're going to do that. One hunter moves. So the only thing that's going to happen out of this card is that we have one shadow that is going to move 2 to threaten. And that will be this one. So it will go 1, 2 to threaten. That's as close as it can get. Now, threaten means it won't go into a Solomon Kane space. It'll just get next to him. So, like right now, we do have the ability for courage to help block that, maybe. We'll see. We'd have to move our virtue. So, that's not as easy as it may sound sometimes. But anyway, let's go on now to temperance. I know what I want temperance to do. I just don't know that she's going to be able to do it. We still have that mercy cube. And by the way, the luck cubes, now that I recall, when you draw a card for a random number, an event card for a random number, you can redraw with that luck cube if you don't like what you get. So, okay, that was our first round. Virtue down. Now we're going to move to temperance. Hopefully we get some good stuff there. Let's go take a look at temperance. Now we have to remember that prudence, Solomon is in the aura of prudence, so we get an additional reroll or an additional flip. That could end up being really powerful for us, but we only got 3 dice right now. Let's roll and see what temperance gets. Is that going to be enough to do something worthwhile? Maybe. So we got these 2 dice here. What I want to do is get this investigation, which allows us to move, let me see if you can see that, yeah, move 1 or 2 towards an objective token. That would be the ideal scenario. I don't care about adding a darkness card. Getting a, the other thing that wouldn't be too bad is getting a benediction. Now we have we have a reroll and a flip, so we're going to reroll this one. We may have to flip it. Oh no, that's not what we wanted. So even if I flip it, it's not going to help us. And I don't want to explore yet. That's this one here. I may reserve a die, donate this die over to courage to be able to do something. I'm not going to be able to move him, though. That sucks. I really wanted to move him. But we needed this symbol, because we have these 2, but we needed this one and we didn't get it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this in reserve. I think we'll put this one in reserve, too, because that may help us get this. We'll see. And then we're going to take this faith and we're going to donate it over to courage, which is going to go right there. So we've done that, and that is going to basically mark Temperance's turn. She didn't really get to do very much. Okay, I'm taking all of that back. While that was a clever idea, we're doing this. I know it seems crazy to get all these folks out on the board, but she's the one we need out on the board. I'm going to show you where we're going to put her. Here is the beautiful miniature for Temperance. And we are going to place her right here with this token, because Temperance gives us +2 to the exploration score when we explore a place. And that is what we're trying to get done with Solomon here. Now, Solomon's got a lot of auras around him. He's got +2 to fight from courage being on the board, the aura from prudence for the +1 reroll, and now exploration aura when he gets there from temperance. So that's pretty good. Let's go finish up Temperance's turn. Well, we're not doing a good job at getting extra dice out on the board, which isn't great. Do I want to replace any of these with either one of these? I do. I think I want to replace this one. We're going to discard that. We already have this up here. This one's kind of hard. These are hard to get, though. Choose a virtue. The player may immediately resolve 1 card from their hand at no cost. From their hand. Ooh, that's pretty nice. That's juicy. So I think we're going to place that, just in case we can pull it off. I don't know that we can. We need 3 faith. We'll keep that one. We'll draw a new card, which is going to be Contemplation. Well, that's easier to get. Draw 3 cards from the top of the event deck. Place each card back in order. Not bad. And then we'll discard that one, and that is going to be the end of Temperature's turn. Let's go take Gaston, because we know what he's going to do. It's a bit hard to see Gaston back there, so I'm going to move her out of the way for just a moment. He is actually going to seek to move here. Then he will vandalize this token. He's searching the bed for a bar, and this will go on the card of Gaston El Armon. So that goes there, and he has done his damage. Now we're going to draw a darkness card and see what we get. Okay, So none of this is going to happen. Oh wait, one shadow moves one to engage. Okay, well the closest shadow, they're both the same. So this is where this becomes important. Let's take a look at the board here. And by the way, we're going to have a spawn too on this one on the X, which is way back here. But we're going to, this one is going to move toward one to engage, right? Yeah, one to engage, but he's not moving enough to engage. However, I think we're going to drop the bomb and we're going to blow this guy up because we're going to spawn another one way down here. So this guy's going to blow up, and that is also going to take Prudence back off the board. She takes herself out, spiritual explosion, and that helped Kane from having to deal with that shadow. Okay, that is the end of Temperance's turn. We did our darkness card. That's 2 down. Oh, we got to spawn a shadow way back here, so this shadow could possibly move back way back over here. That shadow could possibly move up on Solomon Kane pretty soon because that is the end of the card. Yeah. Oh, closest shadow moves one to engage, to threaten. So that means this one did move right to here. I'll say. Got to make sure we read. This is one of the things you got to do is make sure you read all this. The card. I skipped to the furthest shadow. Closest shadow moves one to threaten. He was not in. He's not adjacent, so he would follow this. And then the other shadow, the one that was over there, moved to engage and blew up. Then hunters. We don't have any hunters. Okay, that's it. Got it. Covered. Done. Let's move on to our turn for courage. Well, not much we can do here but roll dice for courage. 3 dice. We do have the ability to fight, but we're not really fighting anything right now. We're trying to find a bar for the door to jam our door up. Let's see what we get here. Okay, that... What does that do for us? Well, we could actually, I could flip this and gain 2 luck cubes. I don't know how helpful that is. We cannot get this one, which I really, really wanted. We have 1 faith. I can get... oh yeah, here we go. We're going to do gumption. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to reserve this. Well, no, let's donate it. No, we'll reserve it. We'll reserve it. Give courage 4 dice later, but I don't think... Yeah, I think it's okay, because I'd like to get this too, if possible. We may need to put courage back out on the board. Or do I give that to... You know what? We're going to give this to prudence. Or temperance. Temperance is probably going first next turn. We're only going to be able to move Solomon 1. We're going to move him into the space with courage. I think we're going to... Oh wait, we have to be someone... I can't donate to someone who's already gone. Courage is the last player, so we're going to reserve it. Okay. Then we're going to take this and this here. No, sorry. We're going to flip this die to this. So we use the flip ability. We're going to flip it and do... Oh, darn it. I can't. Shoot. Shoot. Well, I can place 2 luck cubes. That's not really that helpful to us. Well, here's what we can do. Okay. I'm going to flip this one. Yeah, I'll flip this one. Keep this out. We'll put this in reserve, and I'll use this for here and this one for here. That'll solve the problem for us. Okay, that's going to give us a move for Solomon Kane. And I don't know that it matters. I think we'll move him here. He's then 1 away from... He's trying to make his way toward that objective and check that spot right there. Unfortunately, that is it. That is it for courage. So let's go take a look at the card, see if we're going to replace anything. I'm not sure. So here's our hand. We got to move 1 at the cost of 1 danger, and place 2. This is pretty good. I like this one. I think it's really cheap. I think we're going to... I don't care about the luck cubes right now. We're going to discard that. We'll replace that one there. I think we'll leave this one in our hand for now. Draw another one, see what we get. Audacity, remove all shadows from play. Oh gosh, man! If I get that card that you can use all abilities from their hand, that would be amazing. Okay, so that is going to be the end of that. These dice are going to go away, and we're going to go take care of Gaston, and then draw our darkness card. Okay, here's Gaston. He's doing it again. I may have done that too quickly. I got to look at that. I don't think so though. I wonder if he moves. I'm going to look at Vandal. Vandals, at the end of each virtue's turn, each Vandal that is not moved. So you know what? He now destroys this token. So that's why I say that's going to go really fast for us, isn't it? He now destroys this token. Because in the last round, he moved onto it, and for the Vandal, he can't have moved. So this token now goes there. My bad, but I caught it. There's lots of rules in this game, gang, so you got to really pay attention to the cards. It's a great solo playable game, but man, you got to pay attention and watch what's happening. We did. Okay, that is actually the end of that, so he now took out that token. Next turn he'll move again to the next token. We're going to draw our darkness card. None of this near effect is going to take place because we have no sentries, scouts, or hunters. On the second part, we get one sentry moves 2, farthest scout, westernmost scout, closest shadow moves 1 to threaten. Okay. Closest shadow, and that's it. So just closest shadow moves 1 to threaten. So that's going to be this guy here. And here's what we're going to do with that. He's going to move into courage space. Courage is going to come off the board and destroy the shadow. And that is the end of the shadow. He's gone. So courage took himself down. There's only temperance on the board now. But that card does have a spawn, another shadow right here. So that could have been bad for us. I don't know. But that's the end of that card. We're 3 cards in. We're almost on a spot where we can search, but explore. But we don't have a great exploration ability right now. So not great. I think when we explore, I think we add clarity, which is no bonus right now. And again we have 2 shadows on the board, so that's the most we can have right now. That's good. And that last one, that back one, did not move according to the card. It was just the closest shadow, so we're good there. All right, well that means everybody's gone. So who do I want to go first? I want somebody who can move him into the location quickly. That may be courage again, and we also could. I wouldn't hurt to get another virtue out on the board to block that shadow. We could get prudence. Allows us to place light on a dashboard. That could be really helpful. Get it on temperance. Maybe prudence goes first. That wouldn't be so bad. And she's also got a move card and a modified track card. Let's do prudence first. Impossible for prudence to get moderation, but all these other things are good. So we're going to make prudence number 1. Prudence is going to be number 1. Number 2 is, I don't think I'm ready for temperance yet. We got to boost that stat. Number 2 is going to be, I can get courage out on the board. I think that's good. Block that shadow again. Okay, number 2 is going to be courage in this round. Number 2. Number 3 will be temperance. And number 4 will be justice. Hopefully by the time we get to temperance, we will have done something that will allow us to advance the ability to explore, get some light. That's one of the reasons I'm taking prudence here. Maybe, just maybe, we can get some light on the board and block that shadow. I don't want temperance to get taken out. It's highly unlikely that shadow will get to Solomon this action. So maybe if we can get then courage on the board, we can also block the shadow. We'll see. Oh, right. What I may have to do if it moves in, if Solomon Kane can move this turn, which I'm hoping for, into that space with the token, then prudence can, or temperance can knock the shadow back. I don't want to have the shadow engage Solomon. That is a bad, bad thing. So, all right, let's get started with our next turn. We talked about it. Let's do it. All right, we're going to get on with prudence here. Let's see what prudence rolls. That's not a bad roll, actually. We can do a couple of things here. We can move any one virtue. We don't want to do that. We got the move 1. We can do that with any die. Okay, we're not going to be able to place a light. That's okay. But I think we'll place this here and we'll reserve this. Or do I want to donate it to temperance or courage, who's going next? Because that would give us, yeah, let's donate this to, we're going to donate this to courage. Because if courage now has 2 courage dice, 2 courage dice to be able to take an action with, and maybe we can then get courage on the board and do something else with courage. That would be pretty cool. All right, so we're going to move Solomon 1. This is exactly what I want to do, because even if the shadow moves into a space, we'll be okay. Let's look at that. Okay, so this is going to move. So prudence did supervision, kind of actually guided, maybe shoved Solomon into the space where there is going to be hopefully a bar for the door. That would be good. We got temperance there. Temperance is going to help with the search. Temperance has the ability, just natural ability to do that as part of her aura. And if we get lucky, we can maybe get a light on there and do and explore. Yeah, and I have one luck die in the cloud to be able to redraw a card, so that's a good thing. But that's it. That's it for prudence. So we're going to first, I didn't have her hand out either, because this card's going to go away for sure. And we're going to discard that, so we'll put that under her deck there. These are gone. These are the two cards in hand. We have place one light and take 4 dice from the supply and allocate them. That is a beautiful card, but this one's easier to get. So I think we're going to place that there. Do I want to? I think we're going to swap this one out. I like this one, but I think it's too hard for us to get. We'll put that one there and discard this one as well. Now we don't have a hand, so we're going to draw 2 more cards. That means we're going to reshuffle for prudence. We got this choose a virtue. That virtue may immediately search through their discard pile and play a card of their choice. That's powerful. Place 2 light. That's powerful. And then we'll shuffle these ones up for next round. Okay. All right. That's prudence. Okay, now we're going to go to Gaston. He's going to seek. So Gaston is going to move here to this token. He's seeking that token out. He's going to destroy it on the next turn. Hopefully we don't run out. I don't think we're going to run out of tokens. I think we're okay. I'm even thinking we're okay with the darkness, but that's, you know, we'll see how it goes. All right, let's draw our darkness card. Then we'll move on to. We're going to end Prudence's turn. We'll flip that over, and we'll move on to courage next. All right, our darkness card says, okay, we're going to move one shadow, adjacent shadow, so this is actually going to happen, moves to engage at the near section. Did I forget to spawn? No, I didn't. I did spawn on Y. Another one's going to spawn on Y. They're going to keep relenting. So here's what's going to happen with that. Okay, I found the rules called hold their ground. So if a shadow wants to move in the same area as a virtue, the virtue player has a choice. They can either allow the shadow to move in, this triggers the shockwave from the virtue, or they can hold their ground. The shadow cannot move into the area, return to the last area it was in before the virtues, before the virtues, its move ends, danger increases by 1. So we're going to do that actually. So he's going to stay put. He's not going to be able to move in. That will increase our danger up to 5, which could put as many as 3 shadows on the board. That's bad. Okay, well, the other thing, 2 immortals cannot occupy the same space. So this says, we're going to spawn one in Y again, which is right there. So I'm going to spawn this one back here. It spawns in an adjacent space. It says treat it as if it came in from an adjacent space. So we're going to do that. And that actually marks the end of our next turn. That is going to flip the dice over for courage. Courage is done. You know, the reserve die I didn't use, so that will go away. Got to remember to use that if I want to take advantage of it, but we wanted to get that done with courage. So we get Solomon moved into the right spot. Okay, we're going to move on to temperance now. Hopefully temperance, I think if we can get a couple things done and do an explore, that would be fantastic. We're going to see what happens now. You know, I could have taken that shadow out, but I figured, what's the value? And by the way, that other shadow does go out now because our danger increased, so there are 3. But what I really want to do is do this if we can. I don't know if we're in a good spot for it or not, but I do have some cool stuff. Oh, this is, oh man, look at that. There's some value here. We don't need to move. I guess, see, I could draw a blessing, and I don't know, blessings are so powerful, and the odds of getting that are really slim, but I don't want to take the chance. I think we need to explore this. I'm just worried about the number. We need to get a pretty decent number. So I can do it. I can do this, and we can explore, and then I can donate this to somebody else. I would, oh, wait a second. I'm sorry, yeah, that donated die from courage would have gone, not his reserve die. I fixed that. Okay. Anyway, here we are. I think I'm going to donate this. The only person I can donate it to is Justice, so we'll donate this to Justice. We'll get that out of the way, or I could reserve it. Let's reserve it. Yeah, let's reserve that for next round for temperance. All right. Now let's do our action. We don't get any bonuses from this to explore. Every light token I had here would have given us 1, but we're just going to get a +2 from the aura, which isn't terrible. However, we'll see how this goes. This could be really bad for us. Luckily, we have 1 luck cube to redraw from. we'll see if we have to do that. Let's go do this Explorer action. This is going to be fun. Okay, so there is our event deck. We're going to draw a card from this. It's going to be our first test. So how a test works is we took the Explorer action, so we're going to draw a card, and there's 3 different box numbers on there. The one to the farthest right is a hero, champion, great villain, things like the toughest things, and that's what Solomon is. So he gets the number to the farthest right. We've done an Explorer. We are in the aura of temperance, so we're going to get +2 to whatever we draw. So the only thing I don't think we want to draw is something that only gets us to a 5. I think if we're a 6 to 8, we're okay. We want a 9+, but I don't know. I don't think we're going to get that. Let's draw this and see what we do get. So we don't pay attention to any of this. This is if a shadow engages Solomon Kane. So none of this, or if we're told to draw one of these, none of this matters now. Just this number here, which is a 5, which means we go to a 7. So we're in that 6 to 8 range. According to the book, that means we're going to look for card D204. Let's check it out. Well, that's not necessarily what we were looking for. It says, signs of a struggle. Kane examines the bloody stains and splintered bed frame. So we're going to get +1 clarity. That's good. That means our clarity is back up to 6. That's helpful. +1, there's a plus, right? They're so small. Let me look on the screen. +1 compassion. That puts us up to an 8. We're at a bonus +1. And I don't remember which stat. It's not compassion. I think it's clarity that gives us a bonus to the Explorer action. I'm just going to double check that just to make sure, because if we were at a 7, we would have had to have another +2, so I don't think it's going to matter. But I just want to double check and make sure the Explorer ability, where is that? Come on now. You have to do some serious searching in this sometimes. Yeah, it's clarity, right? So we're not going to get that bonus, but we did get the bonus to it. And then, of course, lastly, we remove this token. So we've got to continue on and move to the next token and try and get a better number. So that has been resolved. Okay, so we did get a bonus to clarity and compassion. If we get another bonus to clarity and compassion, we're in even better shape. I'll put that card aside for now. We know what it is, so we could do that again if we wanted to in another turn, right, and see if we can get a better roll. But we need at least another couple of bonuses on here, I think, even though Gaston right now is going to destroy one of the next things, and we're probably going to have to dump prudence, or temperance. She's probably going to leave the board, but let's finish temperance's turn. Okay, so she helped him with inspection. Her turn is over. We didn't use either of these cards, but do I want to swap any of them out? This one, I don't, well, we actually could get this now. I'm going to leave this in play. This is too good. I'm going to leave it in play. I'm not going to swap those out. So we'll keep our hand as is. That's it. We're going to go on to Gaston and our darkness card. Well, here's Gaston here. He looks over, cleverly takes this token off the board. He's going to vandalize it, destroy it, whatever it was. He's moving on to this one. Now he's a couple spaces away. That's a good thing. Maybe we can get at least to the next one and have prudence or temperance. We'll still be in temperance's aura, but I have a feeling she's going to get blasted this turn. That's not good. All right, let's. That was the end of our darkness card. Let's draw our next darkness card. There's going to be another spawn, Lord, in Y too. Well, there's 3 on the board, so if they don't die, we can't spawn them, but we are going to kill one, I think. Okay, so let's take a look. Near. Okay, no. Okay, that near dark shadow is not going to move. Okay, minus, in the far section, scouts, nope, scouts, nope. The shadow closest moves 2 to engage. Okay, this is where we're going to blow these 2 up. Boom, this one comes off the board. I don't want the danger track to go up. That's one of the lose conditions. And then, of course, temperance comes back off the board as well. And then it says, that's not it though. The furthest shadow moves 3 to threaten. So that's going to be this guy. 1, 2, I can move him here or here. It's just equidistant, so I'll move him there. Keep him out of that space. Well, doesn't matter. Move him there. He's probably going to move again anyway. Okay. And that's going to end this darkness card. All right. That's not great, but that leaves us with just justice now. Okay, so here we are with justice. We can see, what can we do here that'd be really effective? Get some light on the board. That would be helpful. Get Justice on the board to block these shadows, keep them away from Solomon. That would be good too. That may be what we end up doing. You can't place an immortal with an immortal, but you can place an immortal with a mortal. So I can place a virtue with Solomon. I just can't, or Gaston. I just can't place it with a shadow or another virtue. So but man, we can get some light out. If we did this one and we're able to place 2 light, that would really, I would put those on Temperance and then try and get Temperance out. Hopefully those shadows don't move in to engage Solomon. But let's get our dice and roll. Okay, here we go. Well, that was not ideal for us, actually. I can't do this one. I could do Empathy. I can do this. Because we need one of these, right? We need one of those anyway. Then I can place this one and do this one. So we can do that. We don't need to talk. That's not very good. So I can place 1 light on Temperance's Explore action. Then if we get another light on there, she can hold 3. We can get a bonus of maybe a 4 if we can get Temperance back on the board. I'm still a little worried about these shadows, though. So I think we're going to do that. I think that's a good move right there. Get a light. So Justice is going to use some intuition to get some light out to enlighten Solomon. In this case, we're enlightening Temperance to be able to create a better Explore action. So we'll do that. That means we're going to put a light right there. That's good because we'll get her out on the board again soon. Hopefully I can stave off those shadows. We haven't seen one of those events, but I know they're bad when they hit you, so we don't want that to happen. And then we're going to end the turn. I think we're going to keep both these cards. I could get this one down, the Sympathy. Maybe get another. In fact, that might be better than this one. I like this. It would give us +2, but it's a little harder to get. So I think we'll discard this one. We'll draw another card. That gives us Influence. That's not bad, and that's better than the Empathy thing. So then we're going to have Sympathy instead of Empathy. Maybe get some Blessing cards on the board. And that is truly going to mark the end of Justice's turn. We're going to go take care of Gaston and the shadows and stuff. Okay, so Gaston is going to seek. I think, let's see, he can actually move into here. So he's going to move into here because he can get there from right there according. I don't know, that red, I got to look at that red. No, I think he can't. He has to move here. So he's going to move there because he's going to one of these 2 locations. Okay, so he did his seeking action. Now we're going to draw our darkness card. How many do we have left? Ooh, we only got 3 left. Oh man, I didn't think about that. That's tight. If we get to the end of this without, like, that card did not give us, we don't have any progress tokens. So that's bad. We've got to get to that card. So Temperance is going to have to go. We're going to have to get somebody that can get Temperance out on the board. So I think next turn, since all the virtues have gone, we're going to get. We have to get somebody who can place another virtue on the board. See, they can place themselves on the board, but we need to get someone who can place another virtue on the board. Actually, we don't. I'm going to need a big turn from Temperance. So we got to beef her up with dice and stuff. I think, actually I can move a virtue. That doesn't help us. Place, oh man. I don't know. This is going to be challenging for us for sure to get to that 9. I don't know how we do it. We would need a 6 right now if Temperance is on the board and we can do an Explore action. That's not going to be very easy, is it? So we got to do something that's going, maybe Justice. I got to look and see who can, if anybody can get another virtue onto the board. I don't see that you can. And we have to move Solomon. He's not in a space that he can do this in. So we have to add a darkness card. Does anybody can add a darkness card? We'll have to see about that too. Okay, anyway, right now we're going to draw our next darkness card because we have to do that. We only have a couple left to go. We might be in really bad shape here. Okay, move a sentry, move a sentry. Shadow moves 1 to engage. That's not going to happen because there's nobody adjacent. Okay. Sentry, closest scout. Closest shadow moves 1 to threaten. That would be this one. We'll move it here. Okay. Closest shadow moves 1 to threaten. Hunter, hunter. So that's it. And then X, we get a spawn on X, which is, where is X? way up here. Okay, so we are going to spawn another shadow, the third shadow. I'm going to throw it all over the board first, though. We're going to spawn that one up here. That's the end of that. And that's going to be the end of this episode. So we're going to leave it a bit of a cliffhanger as shadows surround us and we rush to try and get the last of the tokens and see if we can find the bar for the door. That card that we drew where we looked at the objectives, the 4B or whatever it was, or no, what was it? D204 did not give us a token. So it's a objective like resolve token, these little stars. So we don't have any stars right now. We may not find the door bar. That would be very bad. And our seeker, Gustin Elarmon, who is vandalizing these things, has already destroyed 2 of our objectives. Rough. Wow. I can always do this action to add a darkness card. I may have to do that. We might have to try and extend this and get some people on the board to protect not only Solomon, but the token as well. This may be our good old courage that gets some of this done for us. Courage has been truly helpful. So we'll see if that turns out to be true or not. And we've got to get temperance on the board again and get the ability to take an action, another investigation or inspection action. So I don't know how we're going to do that either. We're struggling right now. I think we're really tight on trying to get this to work. But we'll see. I mean, there's always an outcome. May not be good. All right, well, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying this playthrough of Solomon Kane. I'm sure I made a mistake or two. I'm sure you'll let me know about it. So just in case, yeah, please do let me know. I probably won't go back and actually make a change because the way the story rolls out. But anyway, just for the sake of others, if you watched it all the way through and I did make a mistake still, I didn't correct it during the playthrough, let me know and let everybody else know as well. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.